Hello everybody and welcome to this week's episode of Paul TV. This is episode 8 and we have a very good lineup for you this week. This time we have Mental Thunder. They've been on the show before, so we'll be talking a little bit with them. And also we have Sandra Rasmussen. And she's a very talented lady and I think you're going to like her. And also we have another country musician from here in the States. His name is Joe Yeoman. So all that's coming up in just a moment, but first I just want to let you know that I'm going to be taking a short break from the show. I'm about out of interviews, and as soon as I get some more, I'll be having some more episodes, but I don't know exactly what it'll be at this time, but I just thought I'd let you know that. And so anyway, with that out of the way, without further ado, let's start the show. Hello everybody and welcome to this week's interview, and right now we have with us Metal from Australia. How you doing? Okay. So why don't you start off by telling me a little bit about how you started the business? I mean, you were a lot younger. Maybe you can give us a little bit on that.
When I was 10, I was in like the band. That was about around. And Corey was in the band about year 4, so that was about 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what's exactly just grown heaps.
Didn't have that influence.
Alrighty. What are your
Sorry?
I said, what are your influences? Are there any bands that you can like growing up, or that probably influenced you to be a musician?
I always listened to metal bands. The reason I became a musician wasn't because I heard, like, because my dad, he was an artist, he dancer. He saw Spider play the guitar. What about you? I don't know. I guess Van, like, Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, not really much. Like, lately listening to watching it.
Oh, I'm into all the like most band stuff and like any band from and
Oh, okay. Well, those are pretty good bands. I like a lot of different bands of different genres, but especially metal. So, those are probably my influences.
fair enough.
Are you planning on coming out with an album?
We're planning to should happen soon.
Oh, okay. Do you have MP3s right now in the meantime to download music?
Yeah, up on SoundCloud, and if you convert the YouTube clips to MP3s and stuff, yeah, check out SoundCloud page.
Just Mental Thunder.
Okay. Well, maybe we can get some music from them. Let's see. Well, that's right.
Tell him we can't hear what he's saying.
Sorry?
We can't hear what you're saying. The internet connection's really slow.
Yeah.
That's a little.
Well, what I was saying is that if you ever want to come back sometime and share with us some music album or whatever, you're the one back.
Thanks. We'll definitely soon.
everybody, and welcome to this week's interview. And all the way from Melbourne, we have Sandra Rasmussen. I almost forgot your name there for a second. Sorry about that. Thanks for coming on, Sandra. We thank you for taking your time, a few minutes with us. Let's start off by the obvious question. How did it all begin for you as far as music is concerned? Did it start when you were a lot younger? Maybe you could let us know.
All right. It did start when I was a lot younger. I was in my teens, and I belonged to a club called the Victorian Banjo Club, even though I played guitar. That was in the very early 60s. And then I stopped after a couple of years and didn't pick the guitar up again until I turned 60. So for 8 years I've been playing guitar, and it's only the last 4 years I started to sing.
Okay, well that sounds good. So I guess you've been doing this for quite some time then, I guess. Let's say, what are your influences as far as music goes? I mean, I know that you're probably kind of in the borderline of country music. Do you have any country music performers, or do you like other performers?
I like most country music, and mainly the classic country. And that's I've styled a lot of my songs on that. But yeah, probably Betty McQuaid is. She was an early pioneer of the country music industry in Australia. Yeah, Dolly Parton, and you know, a few of the others. Becky Cole from Australia. Yeah, but it's mainly I like the older style country.
Oh, okay. Let's see, now since you've been around for some time, I'm sure you have a few albums around. Do you have an album that's coming out? Maybe you could let us know about your albums and where we could get those.
All right, now I do. I have just released my very first album.
Oh.
So at
Okay.
the tender age of 68, I have released my very first album, and it's called Halfway North, because my husband and I did a fair bit of travelling up the east coast of Australia, and along the way with the caravan and 2 dogs in tow, I wrote a few songs, and Halfway North is one of those. Yeah, so that's how that came the title track.
Oh, okay. And did you say you just released that album, or it's getting ready to be released, or?
No, it has just been released.
Oh, okay. Well, where can we get that? Can we get it online, like at iTunes, Amazon? Can you get it in your local stores? Maybe you could let us know.
Yeah, I'll have to let you know, because you can get me on Facebook at the moment, but I haven't got a website. I didn't expect it to get this far.
But I guess. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm not entirely organised as far as that goes.
Oh, okay.
But they can certainly reach me on Facebook.
Okay. So basically, if they just contact you on Facebook, you can go through the whole process.
Yeah.
If you don't know how you can get the CD and whatnot.
Yes, I shall do that. Yes.
So maybe you can let everybody know what your address is as far as that. Is it just Sandra Rasmussen, or is
yes, they'll find me under Sandra Rasmussen.
Okay. Well, you know what to do then, everybody. Just type in Sandra Rasmussen on Facebook and talk to her personally, and she'll get you a CD. So anyway, I guess that's about all the time we have for today. But we do appreciate, coming out and talking with us for a couple of minutes about your music and all that. And if you ever have anything new that you'd like to plug for us, just let me know and we'll have you back on.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, well, it's no problem. And we'll be right back.
Sleeping soundly in my bed, a creaking sound came to my head. The folks next door can't wait to stay. Another town, another day. Returning to a peaceful dream, I'm stuck
everybody, and welcome to this week's interview. And all the way from Georgia, we have Joe Yellman. How you doing, Joe?
Pretty good. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. We're glad that you could stop by and talk to us here at Ben TV.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
I guess the first obvious question is, how did it all begin for you? I mean, was it something you always wanted to do, or?
I've always enjoyed music. You know, I started playing guitar when I was like 12 years old. My dad played guitar, my mom sang. So it was just kind of a natural progression for me to start picking it up and learning how to play and sing and that sort of thing.
Hmm. What kind of influences do you have as far as country music goes?
For me, growing up in the 90s, like I had to say Garth Brooks, Travis Tritt, but also like Waylon Jennings and Merle Haggard and Hank Jr. and, you know, Conway Twitty and a whole bunch of other different folks. I mean, I'm kind of all over the place when it comes to influences.
Mm. Let's see, and you don't have an album out right now?
Not currently. I'm working on getting together the right mix of songs, and I plan on heading into the studio sometime here in the next 6 months or so. And then at that point, I hope to have a really good album out.
Mm. Well, I know people can't wait to hear it. I guess you got some songs online that you can listen to, right? Like, is that like on iTunes or your website, or?
I do have one song on iTunes. It's called "What Gets Me," and you can also go to my website, and I have videos and some music on there as well. And that is joeyeoman.com.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, we'll have to go check that out there, Joe. Let's see. I guess that's about all I can think of to ask you at this point. But you know, you're more than welcome to come back anytime you have something to plug. Even if you do happen to come out with that album, we'd love for you to plug it for us.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And but anyway, we appreciate you coming by and talking with us, and we'll go ahead and take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Thank you. Hey guys, I'm Joe Yeoman. This is Closer to a Sinner. Ain't never been to prison. I don't own a jacked up truck. Don't you talk bad about my mama unless you want your face tore up. I spend more time on a bar stool than a church pew, but I've been known to hit my knees a time or two. I'm closer to a sinner than a saint. So don't you come over here acting like something you ain't. I've always been a good man, that ain't gonna change. Closer to a sinner than a saint. I see you looking down your nose, my old scuffed up boots. Bet you don't even like my clothes. Tell the truth, I ain't that fond of you. You spend all your time trying to judge me. If you open your eyes, you just might see. You're closer to a sinner than a saint. So don't you come over here acting like something you ain't. I've always been a good man, that ain't gonna change. Closer to a sinner than a saint. I've always been a good man, that ain't gonna change. closer to the center. Think I'll hang out with sinners, closer to the center than a saint.